The US might be known as the land of opportunity, full of beautiful landscapes and thriving cities, but not all of them are as safe as they seem. Believe it or not, some American cities come with crime rates that'll make you think twice about visiting, let alone moving there. That's why today, we're diving into the 10 most dangerous places in America. Before we jump into the details, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Now, let's get into it. Number 10. Chicago, Illinois. Starting off with Chicago, often called the Windy City. When you think of Chicago, you probably picture its famous skyline, deep dish pizza, and a bustling city life. With a population of over 2.7 million, it's a major American hub. But here's the thing, they don't call it dangerous for nothing. Chicago's crime problem isn't just some overblown rumor, it's the real deal. With neighborhoods like West Garfield Park at the center of it all, the city's crime rate soars to around 13,135 incidents per 100,000 people. Think about that for a second. Those are some staggering numbers. The kinds of crimes, everything from shootings to robberies and break-ins. And while the city has been trying hard to clean up its act, the battle is far from over. Chicago is a place where lively culture meets some seriously tough streets. So if you're planning a visit or move, you gotta keep your eyes open. It's a city that's always moving, but not always in the safest direction. Number 9. Atlanta, Georgia. Then there's Atlanta, a city with about 500,000 residents who know how to keep the energy up. Music, culture, tech growth, you name it, Atlanta's got it. But along with all that excitement comes a crime rate that makes you do a double take. In 2022, Atlanta's police reported more than 22,000 index crimes, which boils down to about 44.8 crimes per 1,000 residents. Yeah, that's a number that's hard to ignore. And if you're curious about which part of the city to be extra careful in, look no further than Oakland City. This neighborhood is what you'd call a crime hotspot, with a violent crime rate of about 1,246 per 100,000 people. From thefts to muggings, Oakland City sees it all. The authorities are doing their best to get a grip on the situation, but it feels like a game of whack-a-mole. Solve one crime and another pops up. If you're heading to Atlanta, just remember that while it's got a lot of soul, it also has its fair share of challenges. Number 8. New Orleans, Louisiana. Next stop, New Orleans. Known for its soulful jazz, vibrant Mardi Gras festivities, and amazing food, it's a city like no other. With around 390,000 people, the Big Easy has that irresistible charm that makes you want to dance in the streets. But beneath the fun and festivities is a reality that's hard to dance around: a significant crime rate. From violent incidents to property crimes, New Orleans has its share of problems. Areas like Central City and the 7th Ward are known for their high crime rates, making them places to be a bit more careful in. Picture it. You're walking down Bourbon Street, soaking in the music and life, but also having to keep a close eye on your surroundings. Whether it's burglaries or more severe incidents like shootings, the city's issues can be hard to ignore. Local law enforcement is working hard to keep things safe, but it's an ongoing struggle. Enjoy the culture, have fun at the festivals, but always keep your wits about you, because in New Orleans, the celebration can quickly turn into caution. Number 7. Cleveland, Ohio. Now let's head to Cleveland. The city may have seen brighter days, but right now, safety isn't exactly its strong suit. With a population of around 361,662, Cleveland is struggling with crime that hits too close to home. Imagine this. Your chance of falling victim to a crime here, whether violent or property-related, is about 1 in 17. That's not a comforting statistic by any means. And it doesn't just stop at numbers. Some neighborhoods have such a reputation that even GPS might second-guess taking you there. Take Scoville Avenue, for example, labeled as the second most dangerous neighborhood in America. The types of crimes in Cleveland range from gang activity to grand theft, making it a pretty tough place to navigate safely. The city's had its fair share of tragedies, from environmental disasters like the infamous Cuyahoga River fire to deep-seated social confrontations. Despite the city's long-standing efforts to improve safety and reduce crime, residents and newcomers alike are urged to stay alert and take precautions, especially in certain areas. Better safe than sorry, right? Number 6. Oakland, California. Heading west, we land in Oakland, California, a city that's all about contrasts. On one hand, you have an amazing cultural scene, a booming tech industry, and food that's simply to die for. But on the flip side, Oakland's reputation for crime is pretty tough to shake. With around 433,000 residents, Oakland struggles with crime, particularly violent offenses, and it's been an issue for years. Neighborhoods with high crime rates leave locals and visitors alike navigating a patchwork of safe and not-so-safe zones. Despite city efforts to crack down on crime, it sometimes feels like trying to solve a puzzle that keeps changing shape. It's not like people aren't trying. There have been ongoing efforts to make the city safer, but Oakland remains unpredictable, and knowing which areas to avoid or be cautious in is half the battle. If you're planning to live here or just visiting, staying informed and aware can make all the difference. Oakland's a gem, but like any gem, you gotta know where to tread carefully. Number 5. St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis is next on our list, with its iconic Gateway Arch symbolizing the city's significance in American history. But don't let its historic charm fool you. The city's crime rates tell a different story. With a population just over 300,000, St. Louis has an eye-opening crime rate of about 87 incidents per 1,000 residents. So to break it down, your chance of experiencing either violent or property crime here is about 1 in 11. That's a serious risk that's hard to overlook. And if you're thinking of heading downtown, well, you might want to reconsider. Downtown St. Louis ranks number 1 in crime volume among all city neighborhoods as of early 2024. And we're talking about a range of offenses, everything from homicides to assaults, thefts, and robberies. Though the city did see its fewest number of killings in a decade in 2023, with 158 reported, the numbers are still unsettling. Authorities and community groups are working hard to make St. Louis safer, with ongoing programs to build better relations and curb violence. But for anyone new to the area, it's wise to be cautious. And if you're a fan of a little dark humor, remember, in St. Louis, you might have better odds of running into trouble than finding a parking spot downtown on game day. Number 4. Baltimore, Maryland. Now we're heading over to Baltimore, also known as Charm City. But don't let the nickname fool you. Baltimore's crime rates have been anything but charming. With a population of around 556,723, this city's crime rate has been a problem for years. In 2021 alone, the violent crime rate stood at about 1,922 per 100,000 residents. To put that into perspective, if you were living in Baltimore, your chance of facing violent crime would have been about 1 in 64, and the likelihood of experiencing property crime was around 1 in 30. Those aren't the kind of odds you want to play with. Let's dig deeper into where the danger is coming from. The neighborhood called Middle East, on the east side of Baltimore, takes the cake for the highest crime. Despite being close to the renowned Johns Hopkins Medical Center, this area is marked by decay and high crime rates. But why all the chaos? Baltimore faces significant challenges, from drug trafficking to gang violence, and incidents like the uproar following the 2015 death of Freddie Gray only amplified tensions between the community and law enforcement. It was a turning point for the city, and one that underscored just how complex the problems are. However, Baltimore's leadership isn't just standing by. There have been efforts to cut down on crime, with reductions in homicides and shootings in recent years. But fixing things requires more than just policing. Economic growth, better education, and community programs are part of the mix needed to give people better options than crime. So if you're thinking of visiting or moving to Baltimore, don't write it off. Like any city, it has its high and low points. Areas like the Inner Harbor, Federal Hill, and Fells Point show off the best of Baltimore's culture and spirit. Just remember to stay street smart and aware of your surroundings, especially at night. Number 3. Birmingham, Alabama. Now let's talk about Birmingham, Alabama, a place where the name tends to come up for all the wrong reasons. Home to around 196,197 people, this city carries a charm typical of the South, but with a dark side it's been struggling to shake off. The violent crime rate in Birmingham stands at about 1,682 per 100,000 residents as of late 2023. To put it into perspective, out of every 100,000 people, nearly 17 have been victims of violent crime. And we're not talking minor offenses. Think murder, manslaughter, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. Certain parts of Birmingham are notorious for their higher crime rates, like North Central Birmingham, Ensley, and Jones Valley. These neighborhoods often make headlines for a reason. Unfortunately, not the good kind. And it's not just violent crime. Property crime is rampant too, with a rate of about 7,427 per 100,000 people. That means that for every 100,000 folks living there, over 7,400 have had to deal with their car, home, or personal property being broken into or stolen. It's almost like living in a citywide game where you hope your number doesn't get called next. Local authorities are working hard to address these issues. From community policing to engaging youth in positive activities, there are ongoing efforts to make the city safer. But for newcomers, it's crucial to be aware of these realities. Stay informed and keep an eye on what's happening in your area. Birmingham is a city full of potential, and if more people work together, maybe they can help it shed that dangerous image. Number 2. Memphis, Tennessee. Now we're heading over to Memphis, Tennessee, a city where the blues is not just a music genre, but sometimes a reflection of its crime stats. With a population of around 633,014 as of the 2020 census, Memphis's overall crime rate is a staggering ranking 237% higher than the national average. In 2022, violent crimes hit around 2,420 per 100,000 residents. Imagine walking down the famous Beale Street, and you can almost feel those numbers in the air. Certain areas in Memphis are known for their higher crime rates. Downtown, Parkway Village, Oak Haven, and Whitehaven Coral Lake top the list as some of the most dangerous neighborhoods, keeping both residents and visitors on high alert. The types of crimes range from burglaries to aggravated assaults and an uncomfortably high murder rate. It's almost like the city is stuck in its own version of Groundhog Day, where every day brings a new round of police sirens. The Memphis Police Department is working around the clock to bring these numbers down, but it's no easy task. While it can feel like an uphill battle, many community members are coming together to demand change and work towards a safer environment. If you're new to Memphis, stay aware, connect with local safety initiatives, and remember that the city's spirit of resilience is strong. It's just in need of more support to break the cycle of crime. Number 1, Detroit, Michigan. Finally, we arrive at Detroit, Michigan, the city at the top of our list. Once the heartbeat of America's booming auto industry, Detroit has faced a rough road over the past several decades. From a peak population of 1.85 million back in 1950, the city's numbers have dwindled, and with economic challenges come various urban struggles, including crime. Today, Detroit holds the title for having the highest crime rate in the U.S., with Memphis following closely behind. When it comes to crime, Detroit has a bit of everything: violent crimes, property crimes, you name it. And it's not just Detroit itself that's grappling with these issues. Nearby Flint, Michigan, with a population of around 81,500, is also struggling with a crime rate that's tough to handle. Flint's story is one of economic decline, poverty, and a lack of resources, which contribute to its own cocktail of crime, ranging from drug-related offenses to burglary and theft. It's a situation with no easy solution, and both cities face a long road ahead in their fight to reduce crime and improve safety. So, what do you think? Were there any cities on this list that surprised you? Or maybe a city you expected to see that didn't make the cut? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your experiences or concerns. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more content like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated with all our upcoming videos. And who knows? Your insights might just help someone make the right decision about where to live, work, or travel next. Stay safe out there, and see you in the next one.